Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Coming to you from a very nice sunny morning here in Portugal today. I thought I'd actually get myself out on the balcony for this video, seeing as it's so nice outside. And let's get straight into it. So I want to start with the dollar, just because I think that the dollar really has so much relevance right here. Obviously, I mentioned at the end of last week, we're starting to form this 9 reversal candle. We have actually now printed that, and it is a sort of shooting star. So it is a reversal candle on a time to mark 9, and we are now actually starting to confirm that as a topping candle with the break in underneath the downside of this candle over the last couple of days. So this is something that is, in my opinion, bullish for Bitcoin due to the negative correlation between the dollar and risk on assets. And I think this is probably going to put us into a pretty nice place in terms of Bitcoin being able to push on higher over the next couple of weeks and months. And if we actually just go over to the Bitcoin chart, we can see that obviously Bitcoin sort of found its low around the 25K mark. People started to scream for low 20s, 20, 23K, 22, back down to 20K, even back down to new lows. And I was actually starting to lean in here. We spoke about this on the channel, that a dip down to 25 would be a good place to buy. And if we just kind of go down to the daily, we can see that we are now in an uptrend from this low. So you kind of had this pretty clear level here at around about sort of 25.3, 25.4. We dipped below that, caught some liquidity, stopped out some traders that would have had their stops under these lows. Obviously executed probably some sort of limit shorts, and then we've rallied up back into the range and now actually testing the top side of this range here. And obviously this range runs from around about 25,000 up to around about 28.5, and obviously we have pierced above the top of the range. In terms of the daily chart, we're actually in an uptrend here. So we've got these sort of high highs, higher low, higher high, higher low. We have flipped the trend round on a daily. So things are looking fairly constructive for Bitcoin at the moment. And I'm personally expecting Bitcoin to now move up and test this 29 to 30K area once again. And obviously, if we can get above that, we'll have our final bit of resistance around about 32K. And if we can close above there, then really it's going to be off to the races, as we will pretty much re-enter the range that we saw back in the last bull run, which was in 2021. Obviously, the low of that range was coming in around about sort of 29 to 30K. And obviously that has been our resistance, our major resistance so far this year. So obviously if we can break above this level, start to get weekly closes above, I mean, our highest weekly close so far is just under 31,000. So if we can start to get weekly closes above 31,000 and break above 32,000 and close above there, then I think we can run, really, we can really start to run up. We're going to have obviously some fib resistance around about sort of 35.5 to 36K. And then we're looking at around about 42. And then we're really looking up to around about 48, which was the last significant retracement of the bear market. So, and that also coincides with the 618 fib. And if we just look at where we went to in the last, done there, let's get rid of that. If we look at where we retraced to in the last sort of early stage of the bull market, if we just put on our Fibonacci retracement tool from the high of the last bull run to the low of the bear market, we can see we actually came back and we did retest that 618 retracement. This is obviously pre-halving. Obviously the halving took place in 2020, and we had the pandemic and everything like that to contend with. That obviously meant that we did come down lower, but obviously that was due to a black swan. If this hadn't happened, maybe we just would have traded sideways. But my point is, it's not unrealistic to assume that Bitcoin can't sort of come back and retest his 40k, 8k level, but we'll just obviously be playing it level by level. I'd like to think that if an ETF is approved and we get a lot of hype around that, then this market can really get moving. And we've seen that in the past. And obviously people that fail to plan or fail to prepare for that type of scenario do get left on the sidelines. And for that reason, you know, we've been positioning at the end of 2022, which in my opinion was always going to be where the low of the cycle would occur. Timing wise, that was the great time, the best time to get involved when everybody was mega bearish. And again, I think really my strategy at the moment is just to add more on dips. So for example, I picked some up at 25k. At 20k, I didn't actually buy much more just because I bought so much around sort of 15, 16. So yeah, I think now is a pretty good time to get yourself positioned and yeah, just obviously have the patience to wait this move out, because this move is coming. And you know, I can tell you, as somebody that was involved in Bitcoin since 2018, then I can tell you 2019 and 2020, or at least the vast majority of 2020, were pretty frustrating. Bitcoin was chopping around more or less between, you know, sort of 12k and back to 6k, and then we seem to be at this sort of 9k forever. And week after week, we were just going sideways. There was all this, obviously, COVID stimulus coming in, stocks were starting to rip back to the upside, and people were getting very frustrated with Bitcoin. But obviously, what happened after that was, you know, just blew everybody away. And I don't expect the Bitcoin market to be any different in the next bull run. I think we'll see a lot of sideways. We'll see a lot of people getting very frustrated. But when things really do start moving, they will start to move. I'll also take a quick look at Ethereum as well. So Ethereum has been a little bit more bearish than Bitcoin at the moment. We're still sort of just above our lows in terms of where we've come down and we've tested over the last week. But I do expect Ethereum to start to pick up soon. And I'll just share with you the ETHBTC chart to let you know what I'm currently looking at in terms of Ethereum. What's the load up? So this is ETHBTC, and you can kind of see really since the middle of 2021, we've been in this sideways range. So you can kind of say the top is around about 0.86, and with lows really around about 0.55. We're currently 0.57, so we're pretty close to the bottom side of that range. And I can just actually sort of draw this on here to kind of sort of show you what I mean. So we've got sort of low of the range there. We've got sort of top of the range coming in there. We'll probably bring that down ever so slightly. But yeah, basically this is the range that I'm looking to play on ETHBTC. And as ETH starts to come down to this 0.55 level, 0.56 level, I'm going to be interested in accumulating ETH over BTC, potentially even shifting some of my Bitcoin into Ethereum. Obviously, the asset that I've been accumulating the most of over the last few months has been Bitcoin, but it's likely I will start to rotate some of that into ETH. Goes without saying, Ethereum, obviously getting its futures ETF is probably going to follow the same sort of path as Bitcoin has over the next couple of years. I do expect at some point there will be an Ethereum ETF. So Ethereum has that card on the table to be played at some point. Nobody's really talking about it right now. Obviously, a spot ETF for Bitcoin first is likely to, when once fully approved, be followed by a spot ETF for Ethereum. And you know, just if you just look at the development that's happening on the Ethereum network with all the layer twos, obviously the base chain, Coinbase launching their own chain, is also on Ethereum. Arbitrum, Optimism, they're all built on Ethereum. So I just think that, you know, Ethereum is the one. It's got that dominance in terms of DeFi, in terms of on-chain activity. It's all happening on Ethereum. So Ethereum's not going anywhere. It's by far the altcoin, if you want to call it an altcoin, the alternative to Bitcoin, that has the most bullish outlook for me. It's the most de-risked because of its size, because of its network effect. So yeah, I could go on, but Ethereum is an asset that I'm going to be looking to pick more up of. And as we see Ethereum start to turn around, it is very likely that we will then start to see the rest of the altcoins start to move, as a lot of the altcoins do move with Ethereum, especially if it gets Bitcoin. So that'll obviously cause Bitcoin dominance to start to come down, and then we'll start to see, Ethereum run, and then that'll be followed by other layer ones, other layer twos, mid caps, low caps. That tends to be the rotation. And obviously over the next few weeks, I will start to talk a bit more about that as Ethereum turns around in terms of my plays. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you have done, please do smash a like and also subscribe. Really trying to grow the channel. Like I say, there's a lot of really exciting content to come. I'll be talking about where I see the best narratives right now in crypto, where we want to be positioning ourselves, where we want to be focusing on, what other altcoins and projects are the best to play the next bull market going forward, rotation plays, everything else like that. So plenty of alpha still to come. Have a great week. Enjoy the rest of your day, and speak to you all soon.